What if everything you've ever been told about the timeline of human civilization was off by not just a few centuries, but by hundreds of thousands of years? Because buried in the ruins of ancient Mesopotamia lies a 4,000-year-old clay tablet, quiet, unassuming, and utterly explosive, that points to a forgotten chapter of human history, far older than anything found in our textbooks.
It's called the Sumerian King List, and it doesn't read like myth. It reads like a ledger, a record, a timeline. It documents 8 antediluvian rulers who reigned not for decades, not for centuries, but for tens of thousands of years each, before a cataclysmic flood swept the world clean. And after that reset, the tablet calmly continues with dozens more kings, this time with reigns that shrink dramatically, as if humanity itself had been rebooted. What makes this so unsettling isn't just the extraordinary numbers, it's the precision, the consistency, the unmistakable mathematical pattern behind the reign lengths. As if the scribes weren't guessing, but recording. This isn't a campfire tale. This is an official administrative document, written by ancient historians who believed they were preserving the truth. So the question we must ask isn't whether the tablet exists. The question is, what kind of beings ruled the earth for 241,000 years? And what exactly did the flood erase? Stay with me. We're about to crack open one of the oldest mysteries on the planet. Looking at the specific numbers reveals a mathematical precision that defies conventional explanation. The complete list of antediluvian kings shows this pattern clearly. Alulim of Eridu ruled for exactly 28,800 years, followed by Alalanga for 36,000 years. Then came Enmenluana for 43,200 years, Enmengal-Ana for 28,800 years, Dumuzid the Shepherd for 36,000 years, Ensipad-Zedana for 28,800 years, Enmen-Durana for 21,000 years, and finally Ubara-Tutu for 18,600 years. Every single reign length divides perfectly by 3,600 years, a unit the Sumerians called Asar. This mathematical precision becomes even more striking when you realize the Sumerians used a base 60 numbering system called sexagesimal. We still use this same system today to measure time and angles. 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour, 360 degrees in a circle. Alulim ruled for exactly 8 sars, while Dumuzid ruled for exactly 10 sars. These aren't mythical numbers pulled from thin air. They're calculated cosmic cycles. Zechariah Sitchin proposed that each sar represents one complete orbit of planet Nibiru around our solar system, with this distant planet taking 3,600 Earth years to complete its elliptical journey. His interpretation suggests these weren't human lifespans, but administrative terms for non-human governors managing Earth during specific orbital periods. However, mainstream scholars consider Sitchin's work controversial pseudo-history, noting that no astronomical evidence supports the existence of planet Nibiru. The geographic progression of these kingdoms supports theories of planned development. Kingship began in Eridu and then moved to Bad Tibera, which translates to Fortress of the Metal Workers. The progression of kingship continued through Larak, Sipar, and finally Shurupak. Each city specialized in different technologies and industries, suggesting coordinated expansion rather than organic human settlement. Archaeological evidence confirms Eridu as one of Mesopotamia's oldest settlements, appearing with surprising sophistication around 5,400 BCE. Its central temple was rebuilt multiple times, each version larger and more elaborate, possibly maintaining connection to a sacred site rather than indicating alien governance. Ancient scribes maintained exact mathematical records across multiple copies. Mainstream scholars suggest that the King List served purposes of political legitimization, using numbers that could be mathematically derived instead of being historically recorded. However, the precision raises questions about why such elaborate calculations would be used to document purely mythical rulers. Then, something unprecedented occurred that transformed the entire concept of kingship on Earth. If this mystery is pulling you in, take a second right now and tap that like button. It helps this channel reach more people who are ready to question the timeline we've all been handed. And drop a quick "I'm in" the comments so I know you're walking this ancient trail with us. Now let's get back to history. The Great Reset. The King List doesn't describe the flood as a natural disaster. It presents the event with a single, stark declaration, "Then the flood swept over." This phrase serves as a boundary marker separating two entirely different worlds. Before this line, kingship descended from heaven and rulers governed for cosmic cycles. After this line, everything changed. The text reveals that kingship needed to be lowered from heaven again after the flood ended. This wording suggests that divine governance did not merely pause during the catastrophe. Divine governance was completely interrupted and required active restoration. The pre-flood world operated under cosmic order, where immortal rulers administered Earth according to celestial cycles. The post-flood world became something entirely different. Joshua became the first post-flood king in Kish, ruling for 1,200 years. Compare his reign to his predecessors, who governed for 28,800 or 36,000 years each. The dramatic reduction represents more than symbolic storytelling. It points to fundamental changes that affected human longevity after the reset occurred, though this pattern could also reflect the King List creators' literary device to transition from mythical to historical periods. Biblical records mirror this pattern precisely. The patriarchs who lived before Noah had lifespans that extended for centuries, with Methuselah living to be 969 years old. After the flood, God explicitly limited the human lifespan to 120 years. Genesis 6:3 states, "My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years." Both Sumerian and Hebrew traditions document the same phenomenon of a deliberate reduction in human longevity following a catastrophe. Archaeological evidence from Mesopotamia supports these ancient accounts. Excavations at Shuruppak, the final antediluvian capital, uncovered a thick layer of river silt dating to around 2,900 BCE. This flood layer clearly shows a break between the older parts of the city and the later rebuilding, suggesting a major event that disrupted normal city life, which may have combined with older stories to form the epic flood tale. The flood appears to function as a controlled reset, rather than a random natural disaster. Before the catastrophe, rulers possessed godlike characteristics and seemingly unlimited lifespans. After the flood, they became recognizably human with mortal limitations. This reset pattern established a new reality where kingship operated under divine oversight, rather than direct otherworldly rule. What makes this account remarkable isn't just its precision or archaeological support. It's that this exact same pattern appears in civilizations across the globe. The Turin Papyrus tells the same story as the Sumerian King List, only from Egypt's perspective. This ancient Egyptian document lists gods who ruled Egypt before the first human pharaohs took power. These divine rulers possessed impossibly long lifespans documented across multiple civilizations, suggesting widespread preservation of memories from the same historical period. Chinese records follow an identical pattern. The earliest Chinese dynasties were founded by sage kings who possessed supernatural abilities and ruled for extended periods. The Yellow Emperor allegedly could communicate directly with heaven and establish Chinese civilization before passing authority to mortal dynasties with normal human lifespans. The transition mirrors the flood boundary separating cosmic from earthly governance. Hindu scriptures describe this same progression through cosmic cycles called yugas. According to these texts, during Satya Yuga, humans lived for vast periods under direct divine rule. Each successive age brought shorter lifespans as divine presence gradually withdrew from direct earthly involvement. By Kali Yuga, the current age, humans live barely 100 years and rely on written scriptures rather than direct divine communication. The Ion creation stories document multiple world ages that ended in catastrophic destruction before the current era began. The Popol Vuh describes earlier human civilizations that failed to properly worship their creators and were subsequently destroyed by floods and other disasters. Each reset produced humans with different characteristics and capabilities, eventually resulting in the current mortal population. Greek mythology preserves similar memories through stories of a golden age when titans ruled directly over humanity. These immortal beings possessed godlike powers and maintained perfect order on Earth. The Titanomachy War resulted in their overthrow, establishing the current world order where gods govern from Mount Olympus rather than walking among mortals. Every civilization independently developed the concept of kingship descending from heaven. Egyptian pharaohs claimed divine appointment. Chinese emperors ruled through the mandate of heaven. European kings governed by divine right. This universal pattern could represent either shared memory of actual heavenly governance or common human mythological frameworks addressing questions of authority and legitimacy. These civilizations consistently use flood narratives as historical dividing lines between divine and human rule. While anthropologists suggest these similarities reflect universal human psychological patterns, the details and mathematical precision preserved in documents like the King List point towards something more concrete. The question becomes whether these ancient records document mythology or preserve evidence of actual intervention that established bloodlines still claiming divine authority today. Royal families worldwide claim divine descent, and their genealogies connect them to ancient rulers through elaborate lineages that trace back thousands of years. European monarchs maintain detailed records linking their bloodlines to gods and demigods from antiquity. These aren't just symbolic claims designed to legitimize political power. They represent preserved knowledge systems that connect modern nobility to the antediluvian period documented in texts like the King List. Some researchers theorize that certain genetic markers may support these ancestral claims. However, mainstream science has not established definitive connections between royal bloodlines and non-human ancestry. Theories regarding unusual blood types, variations in cranial capacity, and other biological anomalies in specific lineages remain speculative due to the lack of peer-reviewed genetic studies to support these assertions. Some researchers theorize that certain genetic markers might support these ancestral claims, though mainstream science hasn't established definitive connections between royal bloodlines and non-human ancestry. Ancient texts describe gods with distinctive physical characteristics that differed from humans. While some interpret references to divine appearance as evidence of hybrid ancestry, these descriptions could equally represent symbolic language used to distinguish divine beings from mortals. The phrase blue blood associated with nobility might preserve a cultural memory of these distinctions, though its actual origins remain debated among historians. Archaeological discoveries reveal technological advances that appeared rapidly across multiple civilizations. Bronze working, precision stone cutting, and sophisticated engineering projects emerged with remarkable speed rather than gradual development. Whether this trend represents knowledge transfer from advanced beings or rapid human innovation during favorable conditions continues to generate scholarly debate. Modern political structures maintain ceremonial elements that echo ancient concepts of divine kingship. Constitutional monarchies preserve symbolic positions invoking heavenly mandate even when governing power lies elsewhere. Presidential inaugurations worldwide include religious ceremonies that transfer authority through ritual, perpetuating models where leadership derives legitimacy from higher sources. The King List's political function becomes clear when viewed as propaganda designed to legitimize contemporary rulers by connecting them to divine predecessors. This pattern continues today through bloodline claims and ceremonial traditions that maintain the ancient framework of inherited authority. Current governance systems represent the evolution of the same legitimization strategies documented in Mesopotamian records. These connections between ancient texts and modern power structures suggest something profound about how human civilization developed and continues operating through carefully maintained traditions that span millennia. The Sumerian King List serves as a master key that unlocks questions about humanity's true origins. We're potentially living in civilization's second chapter, not the first. Everything you've been taught about human development assumes we started from primitive beginnings and gradually advanced. The King List reveals we may have inherited our governance systems, technologies, and social hierarchies, though whether from otherworldly predecessors or through more conventional cultural transmission remains debated among scholars. Look at other ancient texts with a fresh perspective. Egyptian records, Chinese dynasties, Hindu scriptures, and Mayan creation stories all preserve fragments of similar patterns. Some people think that these systems were created with help from otherworldly beings, but most scholars believe there are other reasons for these similarities, like common human stories and cultural exchanges. Our current reality operates under inherited systems whose true origins continue generating scholarly debate about the nature of early human civilization. Thank you for exploring this forgotten chapter of human history with us. If you felt the pull of this investigation, please subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive into the truths buried beneath our feet. And before you go, leave a simple yes in the comments. It lets us know you're part of this journey to rediscover the world's ancient origins. Until next time, beautiful souls. Namaste.